blueberry pierogies at the 2019 Wind Voyager Triple S Invitational. My name's Trip Forman.
I'm Jason Slezak, and we're here with Karolina Winkowska, winner of the 2018 Triple S Invitational. So thanks for coming back again.
Yeah.
We know last year you took first in the Triple S. You took first at the Hood Jam. You took first overall on the tour, correct? So congratulations on all those.
Thank you.
But then you also had an injury leading into Brazil, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So what happened in Brazil prior to the event?
So before last season, I had a shoulder surgery. So coming here last year, I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. It was my first event after the surgery. And then I got superpowered and won the event here, and then trained the whole summer to get back, to get better, with mainly like strength. And then when I went to Brazil, I was like ready to push my riding to the next level because I was really confident. And then my shoulder had a minor injury, so I had to go back home and fix that problem.
And so we spend a lot of time, was it another surgery or was it more rehabilitation? And
it's just like once you decide on having surgery, it's like a pretty big commitment with money, first of all, and second of all, it's
and
like
time,
yeah. And then also it just make your shoulder weaker because they have to open it and just, do their thing.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
then everything is kind of apart, and then it's just really frequent and people get re-injured again in some way. So I was pretty lucky that I injured my muscle, which wasn't the case to begin with, and I didn't need another surgery, and I just needed time off the water, and that's what I did.
And how are you feeling now?
I'm feeling perfect.
Awesome. Awesome.
What was that like, Karolina? What was that like at that event in Brazil? After you got injured, having to sit on the sideline and then have it be a points race.
Oh yeah, that was really tough because I was really thinking I'm still gonna compete, but then it was so painful. Like if you have injured muscle, it's really painful for some reason. It was way more painful than my original issue. So I was like, I really couldn't ride. And it was so tough because the race was really close.
Right.
And I was like, what do? I don't know. And then a couple of days before the event, I went to try kiting again, and I just couldn't. So sometimes you need to take care of your health and, get ready for the next season. Because actually after Brazil, I needed like 3 months off the water completely to make it ready for the next year. So it just takes time.
And how tight was that points race? Because from what we saw, it was you and Julia Castro.
Yeah. So Julia needed to be in front of me. I don't really remember, but it was pretty stressful for me not to compete.
I bet. I mean, I'm just hoping it has to turn out this way, and then you had nothing to do with it. You had to sit out there and watch that. That had to be really stressful.
Because when you compete, you still kind of have a chance because you still can pull the tricks and stuff. And when you don't compete, you're like, well, nothing I can do. But luckily for me, Julia didn't really do good in this event, and she couldn't beat me overall.
So a big part of this year's event is equal pay for men and women. So
that's amazing.
This year at the Wind Voyager Triple S, we have over $70,000 in prize money, equal pay for men and women. What's the from where you are in the sport, and everything that you've been trying to do, your professional career, what do you see this event, and that change doing for the sport?
Oh yeah, this is like the best news I guess we heard this winter. First coming back to Triple S, and then the prize money equal. It's so amazing because I've been competing for more than 15 years, and I can see a lot of frustration with the girls who don't win the events, and they cannot continue because they don't have money, they don't have fundings to not only pursue their passion but just live and have fun. So this definitely gives opportunity to more riders to just enjoy this type of lifestyle and push their riding, which is what I always wanted to see and I always want to do. Just so hard for the riders who don't really have good sponsorship to like push it so much, because it just costs so much money. So like having the equal pay for us, and I must say, girls these days train more than men. And we travel to the same location, so like our expenses and dedication is like as much or even more sometimes than some of the men, because we have so many weaknesses. So we kind of sometimes need to spend more time on the water figuring it out, or spend extra hours at the gym to build that strength, which very often like men already have. So this is definitely going to help a lot of riders to like push the limits, and I can already tell you the girls are sending it real hard already.
Well, and we were talking about that earlier. Trip and I were, we're talking about how everybody's been here early. The conditions have been good. I've been out on the water, coming by the park, sort of on downwinders, and seeing all the girls out there every day. You know, the guys are out there too, but you sort of see the standout fact that the girls are here together, still like the camaraderie in the backyard, but yet out on the water pushing it, right? So what do you think are the biggest areas of progression sort of in the women's division for 2019 that we'll see this year?
Well, there'll be definitely a lot of new tricks coming up. I've already been seeing girls sending it both in the kickers and sliders. So yeah, I'm looking forward for that. It's definitely going to be a hard event this year, and every girl is really hungry for that prize money, and it's pretty amazing to see that, because as I said earlier, like I've seen really talented riders in the past, female riders, but because they didn't have the opportunity to push the riding, they didn't have good sponsorship, they would never win the prize money. They just like stopped doing it. And for me, when I was a young rider, my main income was from the competition, so I know how important is that to push the limits. And yeah, girls are sending it right now.
Yeah, and we've, for this being the 14th year of the Triple S, we've seen riders that were incredibly talented sort of come and go out of the sport with, just having that sort of lack of funding or support. So glad to hear that this is a way to continue that, and hopefully drives more girls to really push themselves and get into the sport.
Yeah, I mean, girls are just, discovering this discipline, like in Europe especially, because we don't have a public park like here you have. Girls are just finding it out where they can practice, and that they could actually be doing this. And I kind of see a lot of the riders who are really talented, but sometimes they struggle with air tricks. They're really good in the park, so it's really cool for those riders who like kind of couldn't push the limit in the freestyle, just come to the park, like girls and the boys too. But for a lot of girls, it's just like their new fun.
That's great.
For the time that you've been out on the water, like the last week, who's standing out there? Who do you think your biggest competition is this year?
Well, definitely Colleen's been really focused on filming some really sick tricks for her upcoming video, and she's always really consistent with her riding, and she's pushing for sure. Anna Luz has been just amazing. She's been training so hard in winter, and then you can see that she's really well trained for this event. Yeah, Julia Castro as well. She has her really good style from wakeboarding, and yeah, all the girls are standing it. Actually, it's really fun because there'll be girls who are better on one obstacle, and then the other are better on the other obstacle. So like you come to one obstacle and like one person's standing it, then you go check the other obstacle, someone else is standing it, then you're like, holy shit, where do I start? It's like really, really awesome. Like for competitor, it's like the best thing ever to come to the spot and see everyone sending it, because then you're like, okay, no sleeping, you just gotta go out there and push yourself. So yeah, it's awesome.
Well, with that being said, you're saying like different people on different obstacles and everything that's out there, which it all factors in, right, to the end result. But what do you think it's going to take to win, and take that top podium finish?
Oh, that's always a hard one because, because everyone's just riding so well on each obstacle, and I feel you just have to be really consistent throughout all of them. So I don't think you can make any mistakes this year because everyone's really hungry for that prize money and training hard to achieve their goals. So I feel like you have to be pretty consistent throughout the whole park.
Nice. Very good. Well, hopefully, hopefully the conditions line up and, everybody can charge as hard as they can and
yeah, that'll
make
be
it happen.
awesome. Yeah, that's the best when the heat is on and you just have to send it.
So Karolina, we started out with blueberry pierogies, of which probably nobody even knew why we were coming from that direction. Slezak, did you know why we were coming from that direction?
Well, I knew.
You knew, but I mean, unless you tuned into SSInvitational.com, you probably didn't know.
No, that's
But
correct.
I mean, I think another great thing about this event is, last year we had riders from 13 different countries come here, and you're coming here from Poland.
Yes.
For the pierogi lovers out there, Slezak and I are diehard pierogi lovers. What is your secret to a good pierogi?
Well, as I said earlier, you just need to make a really thin dough, and you need a man to help you out, roll it out, because it needs a lot of strength.
Okay.
And then, is there anything you would like to say to fans or family back home, in Polish that you'd like to say out there on the World Wide Web?
Oh yeah?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Trzymajcie za mnie kciuki. Woo!
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thanks for coming back
Yeah,
again.
thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And we look forward to seeing you on the water.
Yeah, congratulations on everything you achieved last year, and good luck at this year's Voyager Triple S.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone for tuning in, and stay tuned to SSInvitational.com.